This is Crown of Tempest, one of the coolest and strongest exotics for Arc 3.0, well, until this guy came along. But even with the Fallen Sunstar being out, it is still a very good option to pair with Arc 3.0. But what if I told you that this helmet actually works with all subclasses? I have been tinkering around with some Arc 3.0 builds due to the upcoming buff, so I've actually been reading a lot of exotic armor perks, and what's really interesting is that the Crown of Tempest perk says conduction times. Arc ability or jolt final blows increases the recharge rate of your arc abilities and extends the duration of storm trance. It specifically says arc ability or jolt final blows. This was launched with the beginning of season 19, I guess, to try to make a contender with Fallen Sunstar, but you can actually take advantage of that and do some really interesting things with this. So now, since jolt can proc conduction times, you can use things like a volt shot weapon to actually proc your exotic armor. You no longer have to use your arc subclass to use the benefits of Crown of Tempest. The Volt Shot says reloading this weapon after defeating a target overcharges this weapon for an improved short period of time, causing it to jolt on its next hit. So this means you get a kill. Now your next shot is going to jolt enemies, and if those jolted targets kill enemies and you're wearing the Crown of Tempest helmet, you will proc conduction times even if you are not on the arc subclass. As you can see in the gameplay, I'm on stasis right here and I'm getting very fast cooldown rates, and I actually think this can be very beneficial for some of the subclasses. So we do have things like Verity's Brow, where if you get an energy based weapon kill that matches your subclass, you will actually get a bunch of grenade cooldown rate and grenade damage. So it works kind of similar in the sense that you're using your energy weapon to get grenade cooldown, you just don't actually have to match the subclass type. This can be very good on things like stasis, so you can keep as much stasis turrets up as possible. On top of that, you'll be able to have an add clear perk like Volt Shot doing a lot of the work for you. It could even be beneficial on things like Dawnblade because of the aspect Touch of Flame, where you could buff your grenades. If you want to run a bunch of fusion grenades, you could do that. If you want to run your healing grenade, you can keep that up as long as possible as well. It may not be as good on Solar because you have Starfire Protocol, and if you want to run a healing grenade, you might as well take the fragment where you can keep your restoration up 24/7 with a solar weapon. Void can also work, and then obviously pairing it with Arc is going to be your best bet because, you know, Arc kills will also proc it. But I just wanted to show off this cool little interaction if you guys didn't know about it, because you can actually use this with other subclasses. Also, a thing to note about Crown of Tempest, this is actually going to give you a bunch of grenade and melee cooldown alongside super cooldown. So if you can constantly keep conduction times 3 up with Volt Shot, you will be getting very fast super cooldown rates. So if you're running things like Wall of Radiance, this can even replace things like Phoenix Protocol because you're just going to get them back so fast anyway if you're using them a lot. Pairing it with Void so you can get a bunch of Nova Bombs and get those overcharged grenades could be very good as well. And like I said earlier, pairing it with stasis so you can get a lot of stasis turrets or even your Penumbral Blast out a lot could be very good too. Now right now in the game, Volt Shot can only roll on a couple weapons. Your primary weapons are definitely going to be the Tarnished Metal and Brigand's Law from this season, but it can also roll on some power weapons. And also know that Volt Shot, since it is a arc based perk, can only roll on arc weapons. I personally love the Tarnished Metal with this setup because Volt Shot will give you all that cooldown rate, and on top of that you can also roll Demolitionist to give you even more grenade cooldown rate, because grenades are normally what you're focusing on, but if you want the melee cooldown, this will also work too. Now, do I think this is game breaking and going to be the next best setup for different subclasses? Absolutely not. Other exotics that are based around the subclass are pretty much always going to perform better. Things like Osmiomancy Gloves, Controverse Hold, Starfire Protocol, and even on Arc, if you run Fallen Sunstar, it is arguably better than Crown of Tempest. But I think it is a very cool interaction, and it's also not like a bad interaction. You could definitely run this and see success with it, even in harder content, but just running other stuff probably is always going to be better. But like I said, I did want to show this off to you all if you do want to give it a try. The one thing I could see being very strong is the super regeneration aspect. If you are running things like Well of Radiance, that's just going to correlate to you having a lot of supers, and I think that could be very good. But anyway, I think that's going to do it all for me. Let me know what you all think about this interaction. Did you guys know about this? Did this teach you anything new? And if you guys did enjoy and want to see more content just like this, consider subscribing, drop a like, turns notifications on. Also, if you like, join my Discord or follow me on any of my socials. All of that will be linked in the description as well. But just know watching this video is way more than enough, and that every single bit of support from you all is truly appreciated. Thank you all so much for watching this one, and have a great day. Peace.